What's up, party people? It's Thursday. What day is it? It's September 9th. Thanks for joining us on the TYCAST, the video game podcast. It's great to be here. We have an awesome show as usual. Yeah, thanks. It's been a long week, so come hang out with us and let's talk about some video games. We have a great panel. We're live on Twitch. If you're listening after the fact, come hang out on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Let's get into it. Where are you guys? There you go. Hey, how you guys doing?
Hi.
Russ at Cryo Sneasel. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, always. Max at Minato Maxed. 25 weeks in a row. Good to have you back.
Yes. I'm here. I'm not tired like last time. I know a lot of people was really concerned for me because I looked back at the episode. I looked like I was drunk.
You were. You were.
So I'm here. I'm good. I'm not tired. New setup, new background. Really happy to be here. Not using the laptop. Screw that laptop. Desktop. First time ever. So happy to be here.
Good to have you, man. Yeah, I'm glad that the energy is up. But yeah, thanks for being here last week. I know you had a crazy day.
The commitment is strong. I'm not going to let
you weren't going to miss it.
Yeah.
Sally at Retro Arcade Party. Good to have you back. How have you been?
Oh, I'm good.
Awesome. Brittany at Skrillerwolf. A rare non-last week of the month appearance by Skrill. How have you been?
Man, you know how you said this week was long?
Yeah.
Multiply that times 10. But today has been good.
Good. Yeah. I've been out of town every Wednesday and Thursday for like the last 3 weeks, and for some reason that just destroys me. I'm only going like an hour and a half away, but still, I don't know what it is. I get back Thursday, we do the podcast, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's Friday. But it just takes so much out of me. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you jumping in.
No problem.
Chris at Toaster Dog, how you been?
I've been well.
Good.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good to have you back again. So if you want to check out the podcast in other formats, we also have it on Spotify, Apple, Google. Leave a review if you're listening or if you are subscribed on those platforms so that other people can come hang out with us. Or tell a friend. That's the best way to do it. Tell someone you know. Be like, hey, I listen or I watch this podcast. Come check it out. Just a reminder, last week we picked our next book club game. And I feel bad, it was my pick. It was my nomination. Because I didn't nominate anything the first round, and the second round it gets picked. But it's Crypt of the Necrodancer. It's notoriously hard so far, but people are progressing. Chris, you're pretty far. What you
I'm on zone 4 or 5 now.
Yeah, the 4 is all in the main game, and then 5 was like the little add-on for the Switch that came with it. And so yeah, it's a rhythm based dungeon roguelike game where you have to memorize patterns and you hop around to the beat of the music and your heart pumps to the beat, and it's a fun game, and but it is difficult. So join us if you haven't already. There are 5 days left. It's on sale for $3.99 on the eShop, so get it if you haven't. Otherwise, it's going to be much more expensive until I think the September 14th is the last day that it's on sale for $3.99. So pick that up. So yeah, that's our book club for this month. We have 3 weeks to go now. So get that. Come play it with us. We've all been updating in my Discord of where we're progressing, and so that's fun. If you haven't
started the game yet,
you haven't. Did you get it? Did you buy it?
I haven't yet.
Okay,
but I'm going to soon.
Yeah, $4 right now on the eShop.
Is it on Game Pass by any chance?
I want to say it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know,
Okay.
but no, I don't think it is because you can get it on Steam, but I think it's like $20 or $15 or something.
Okay. All
But
right.
yeah, $4 eShop, good pickup. And yeah, we were discussing Cadence of Hyrule, but that one's like 30 or 35 or $40 depending on where you can find it. So I feel like this was a good intro to it. And it's going to be the beginning of October when we all discuss it, so that'll be fun. Or end of September, I'm not sure where the date falls. But if you have a question or comment for us, the panel, or anything, leave it at tynology.com/comment. Submit it. I'll read it at the end of the show. With that being said, we're going to get into our pickups, what we've been playing, what you've been up to. You can tell a story about your dog if you want. I don't care. But yeah, Russ, what have you been playing? What'd you pick up? Tell me about your dog.
So, I've only had one pickup, and it was Sonic Colors. Oh, I moved my camera. Ultimate. I was kind of worried about this one because I saw the issues for it, but I haven't had any, so it does seem like the issues are only on Switch. I've been having fun with it, and I've been getting very mad with it.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of cheap deaths and stupid things that happen. There's one boss where I just kind of like went too fast and I fell off. I don't know if that was a glitch or if I wasn't supposed to be going as fast as I was.
I've heard that a lot of the glitches are like falling off the map type of stuff when you shouldn't be. So that could have been, I don't know.
I don't know.
Played it.
Where's the baby keychain at?
Yeah, I was about to say I want to see the baby.
I don't like the baby. It's creepy.
Wow, that is creepy.
That's a cursed baby.
So you know how they redesigned? Obviously they redesigned Sonic. I feel like they didn't redesign the baby Sonic, like he kind of looks more like the old version of Sonic than the new one.
You think
That's
those
my,
were like leftover keychains from the movie? Like those were supposed to be handed out at the premiere or something, and they were just like, "What do we do with these?"
I think that is the likely scenario because it's so
Actually,
they're giving out Sonic movie merchandise with Sonic colors.
On the back of this, it does say 2020 Paramount Pictures. So I think this was probably a movie promotion.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Because it could just be that's when the movie came out. Like and it's from the movie. Like obviously it's from the movie since it's like a co-promotion. But I wonder if it was actually produced for the movie. I don't know. That's exciting though.
Aside from that, I've been playing State of Decay 2 with you and Aaron, or Ty and Aaron.
Me.
That's been a lot of fun.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
And I've also been playing Crypt of the Necrodancer. I'm nowhere near as far as Chris. I'm on level 2 still. I can't get past it. I got to the boss once, and then I died like immediately.
Yeah. Max, what about you?
Right. So the games that I've been playing are all been PC games. It's been great to be a PC gamer. Finally. Let's see. What did I played 12 minutes. That's what I played most of the week. That is a great game. That might be a game I nominate for a book club because I want everyone to play it.
Okay.
But we got to get through Spider-Man Web of Shadows whenever that day happens.
But
12 minutes,
it's gonna happen.
It's really great. It is going to happen. Before I die, I'm going to make sure everyone on the TYCAST plays Spider-Man Web of Shadows. I'm telling you, I promise you, it's going to happen. But 12 minutes, great game. Very confusing. Love a lot of the scenarios that happens in that game, and I'm definitely going to be beating that game. Sea of Thieves, played that with my friend Trent. Kind of a weird game, to be honest. It wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be when I first played it. I'm definitely going to give it another chance, but the way it was introduced, just a weird opening. I felt like not. The tutorial also sucked. I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest. But it's an interesting game. State of Decay 2, although I didn't play with you guys, but I played with my friend Trent. That is a great game also. I'm hoping to play that with you guys soon. And then I kind of played A Way Out for some reason.
Kind of.
I kinda. So I tried like to play the game on my PC, and I had it downloaded through Game Pass. Every time I opened it, like I get 5 minutes into the game crashes. And I tried like 50 times. I tried uninstalling it. I don't know what the issue is because I've played more games that are way more powerful, way more demanding of my graphics card than A Way Out was. And I'm hoping to figure out that situation soon because I really want to play that game on the PC. And that's all I've played. The pickups I got a black drop cord, and that's it in terms of the gaming pickups. So yeah,
Nice.
I was expecting people to laugh at that.
What's a black drop cord?
So a black drop cord is what you use to put technology in to power up the technology.
Power drop cord. Like just like a power strip?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the joke.
I've never heard that term. This is
a failed attempt of a joke.
I've never heard that term.
That's what my grandpa always calls them, so I think I got used to that.
Nice. Sally, what about you?
Just playing Skyward Sword, same old things I've been playing. I tried the demo for the new Wario game, and it was actually really fun. So I probably will pick that up. I never played a Wario game like that before.
I only played one old one. I don't remember which one it was. Fun. I wish they had online multiplayer. The more I think about it, the more I'm bummed.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. How's your dog?
He's good. Baby's good.
The baby.
Yeah. Everyone cares about the dog.
The dog. I get updates on your Instagram stories about both of them.
Yeah. Brittany, that's what I do most of the day.
Brittany at Skrillerwolf, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing Okami Den on the DS, which has been an adjustment because I haven't played my 3DS in forever. It's the first time I like picked up a game and really played it in years. And then I've been playing Dragon Quest 11 Echoes of an Elusive Age on stream, and that's been pretty good. It's not like my first JRPG, but I'd say it's like the first traditional JRPG that I've played. So it's been pretty fun. It's definitely like not what I normally play. I'm usually just like all third person action adventure type games. So it's been a nice little change.
Nice. Did you pick anything up?
Yeah, so I got a complete box Majora's Mask.
Wow.
3DS.
That's worth more than my desktop.
Well, so I probably didn't pay as much as it's worth. I paid like a third of what they go for because the guy was just trying to get rid of it. And then he said, "Oh, do you want the game with it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And before he could even finish, he was like, "Do you want the strategy guide?" And I was like, he's like, "There's stuff that's wrong." And like before he could even finish it, I was like, "Yeah."
That is awesome. That's a great.
And it's the big old collector's edition guide too.
Nice.
Ooh, that's awesome.
That is amazing. Chris, Toaster Dog, what have you been up to? What'd you pick up?
I think I only picked up one thing, and that was Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Oh yeah.
And I've been playing a lot of that. I played a little Hades at the beginning of the week, and I played a couple days of Rocket League with my brother. I think that's basically it. I've led a very boring gaming life this week.
This week.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. My pickups, I got Splatoon 2.
Because like 5 years late.
Because I was peer pressured by Sally to play Splatoon 2. So maybe multiplayer Monday. On Monday we'll all play. It's 8 players online, I think. Is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think it's 8.
Yeah. It doesn't say on the back. But so I got that. I got I feel like I got something else. Oh, but my other big pickup is I got an iPad Pro. And it's watching us right now.
Nice.
That's me.
Yeah. It was a 2020 model that I got refurbished. But
Did you put any games on it?
Not yet. It just came today. And so my pencil's coming on Monday, and then I'm getting the Magic Keyboard with it too.
I have to clarify something on my digital purchase.
Yes.
Because Aaron is calling me out in chat. Technically, I did not buy Crypt of the Necrodancer. I got it for free with gold coins. So
yes. I think
I'm still a
no.
digital version on the Switch. No,
Oh yeah, is that your third digital purchase?
I think so. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Hi, are you going to get the Apple Arcade on your iPad?
Probably not. I don't know. I got this more as like to work off because when I bought a Mac Mini a few weeks ago, I traded in my MacBook Pro because I never used it except for docked to work. And so I was like, I'm going to trade in that, get a Mac Mini and an iPad Pro. And so the iPad can do most of what I want to do, like around and not have to pull out my MacBook. And then, so I don't know. I might play games with it. I want to get back into some digital art and stuff like that. But we'll see. You never know. I could. But I think I have like 6 months free of it too. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm intrigued by it, but I haven't tried it out. And then what have I been playing? I was playing State of Decay 2 with Russ and Aaron, which was a lot of fun, jumping through windows and crashing our cars. Rocket League, which was fun, crashing our cars, and Crypt of the Necrodancer, which was fun, dying over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's a fun game. I really like the music is so good. I've been wanting to buy the vinyl because I got obsessed with all the music playing it. That was actually my first Switch game I ever bought. So it was on sale for $4 right when I got my Switch, my first Switch Lite. This guy, and so that's why I nominated it last week. Let's move on. It's our hot take, our hot topic, our title topic. Do you play games to beat them, or do you play them for the experience? If you had to boil it down to, you know what, you buy a game, is your primary objective to beat that game? Or is your primary objective to just experience it, and if you don't get back to it, it was fun while you had it, or does it nag at you to beat that game? Or like, I know that different games have different things, but I feel like we started this discussion in the Discord and it took on many different forms, but I want to open it up to you guys because I know we have very different ways of playing games. Especially me. I think I'm the oddball here mostly. But so come at me.
I'll lay off you.
I was like, Sally's lacing her boxing gloves in the back. No, it's important. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's good to talk about this stuff because I'm learning more about how different people play games and I experience them and everything. So let's go backwards. This Chris, if you just bought a game,
mm-hmm.
What's more important, beating it or just spending the time that you want with it and then moving on?
I think it's two parts. So the first depends on what kind of game it is. So some games clearly have no ending.
Yeah.
In which case, obviously, you play it for the experience. Some games are ridiculously long, like Dragon Quest XI, which I really want to beat, but I haven't gotten there yet, and it's really hard for me to go back to a game after I've started another one. So that's why I'm trying to. That's why when I get a game, I kind of want to devote all the time I can to it, just to finish it and experience the whole thing. Because I think at least back in the days of the Super Nintendo and regular NES, a lot of those were meant to be an experience and not just like a lot of games today. They're just time wasters. There's nothing really exciting about them. They're just there to give you something to do when you're not doing anything else.
That's a hot take right there.
Yeah.
That is a
And
hot take.
I like beating games just because I like to experience everything about the game, just because it's like a journey basically through the minds of the developers, from the start of
Sure.
the game to the finish. Especially on, games like Dragon Quest. A lot of RPGs are like that for sure, but I mean, like Crypt of the Necrodancer can be like that too. They have it's a clear start and a clear finish with a story, and I want to know what happens. Why did the story start? And I want to know what happens at the end too. So I don't know. It's kind of those answers are kind of mushed together for me. Like
Sure.
I want to beat the game, but I also want to experience it too. And a lot of times for me, it's the same answer. I want to do both.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw this out because I don't want to forget it. When Russ and Aaron and I were all playing State of Decay 2, the the interesting thing is when whoever hosts the game, their story progresses, but the other people that join are just kind of helpers, and so it's literally the one person is progressing the story, and the other people are just experiencing, just having fun with it. And at some point, I remember we were working on Aaron's level, and Aaron's like, "Hey, let's switch over to Ty's so you can get a little bit further since we hadn't really worked on mine." And I was like, "No, I don't feel like I'm going to play this game to like I'm not gonna put time into this game. I like playing it with you guys and experiencing all that sort of stuff." I was like, I probably won't sit down when no one's around and boot up State of Decay 2 and try to build up my little base and stuff like that. Like, and so that I felt like was um the epitome of like realizing the difference, because Rush, you're like, yeah, let's hop in mine, I'll play this game and try to get like work my way through the story and stuff. And I think that when that happened, I was like, oh, this is a perfect example of. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do this. I really like playing the game, but I like playing it with you guys to work on your worlds, and then I can walk away from it for 6 months, and then maybe, I'll hop back in and stuff like that. And so that's the epitome of my gaming life, more so than anything else. But yeah, I didn't want to forget that. Brittany, what about you? Tell me your thoughts.
Currently typing about dusting. Toaster, to answer your question, it's Swiffer wand.
Nice.
So usually before I buy any game at all, I do a lot of research into it and kind of debate whether or not I'm actually going to enjoy it. Because most of the games that I like to buy, I like to play to beat. But I will say, like, since I've started streaming, like, it's also kind of changed whether or not I'll beat a game. Because, like, if I'm having, like, kind of like Fire Emblem, I had always had an interest in the series, but I dropped it because I just didn't have a fun time streaming it, and I didn't have a desire to go back to it later. So I just kind of dropped it. But usually I'll look into a game a lot before I pick it up. So my intention is always to beat it, but there have been times where I have bought games and I've been really into them, like Persona 5 and Horizon Zero Dawn. I actually have never beaten. And I did buy them both at launch and was super excited for them. But if it comes down to it, like if I'm going to go back to a game, I'm probably going to restart it because I'm not going to try to pick up where I left off, and that's like kind of the hard part with when it gets down to longer games, because I'll remember a lot of parts of the story if I'm replaying it, and it'll be kind of a bore to try to replay it. But then like once I get to the new content, it's cool. But yeah, I mean, as somebody who like really enjoys story games and stuff, I like to see the story all the way through. I probably lean more towards games that you can beat versus games that you can't beat, just because when I was younger, I was really, really into World of Warcraft, and you can't beat World of Warcraft, but you can always collect stuff in World of Warcraft, which is problematic. So I spent way too much time on it, and I quit before I got into high school because I'm like, dang, dude, I'm choosing to play like WoW versus like go to like my friends' birthday parties and go to family gatherings. So It's like maybe the $15 a month for this is not worth it. So I dropped it.
Oh yeah.
And then swapped over. I went reverse. So instead of PC gaming, I was like, I don't like PC gaming anymore. I like console gaming.
That's funny. Yeah, I forgot about World of Warcraft. That was not even. I haven't heard anyone talk about that in a while.
That was actually what was in my head when I started my spiel about whether or not games are meant to be beaten or not. Because I was severely addicted to World of Warcraft, and I quit it cold turkey, and I was like, if I don't quit, it's not going to be good. So I just said, oh, I'm done. That's it, and I haven't been back. So
well, I started getting into the loot cards, and I would buy mounts and stuff, and it got to the point where like I was just spending all of my birthday money and stuff on it, and I'm just like, I want to play other games, because the thing is like World of Warcraft only appeals to other World of Warcraft players, but if I play Uncharted, I can go talk to a whole mass of people who play Uncharted or Zelda or, all of these games that people have grown up with. Because I mean, not a whole lot of kids have grown up with WoW. At least not kids that were like my age or in my group of friends. Not a whole lot of kids grew up with WoW. So they were talking about Call of Duty or they were talking about Nintendo games, and I was like playing WoW. And so I swapped back over and started playing a lot of like PS3, PS4 stuff, and then went back and played PS2 stuff. And I had a DS and everything. And I think starting out when I was a kid, I didn't want games to end. In fact, I purposely would not I'm not going to say I guess not entirely purposely, but I would get stuck in hub worlds in games because like I would skip through all of the reading and dialogue, so I wouldn't advance it, and I just kind of mess around in games, and was like my whole game experience. And then I played a whole lot of Nintendogs and played a whole lot of World of Warcraft, and then I was like, I want the experience to end. I want like some closure in my games, because you can't close Nintendogs, you can't close WoW. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sally, what about you?
Just like Skrill said, I also do my research before I buy something, because I don't want to buy something and end up not liking it and never finishing it, like Astral Chain, which I felt like I did a lot of research on, and I turned out that I played it for a few hours and never touched it again.
What are there any other
But
games like that? I know you bring up Astral Chain here and
Astral
there.
Chain, funny enough, Majora's Mask, just because of the whole
Oh,
time thing,
the
that
plot
really bothers me.
thickens.
Yeah, I never finished that.
That
Um,
shocks me.
Yeah.
yeah, I got really worried about the whole time thing. I mentioned this, I think, on one of your first podcasts, that my least favorite thing is when something is timed.
Oh yeah.
When you see the days counting down, and Legend of Zelda games are notorious for you getting lost and not knowing where to go. So I feel like I'm gonna get stuck here, and then the time's gonna run out, and then the moon is gonna come crashing down, and I'm gonna get so frustrated. Uh, Short answer is yes, you buy games to finish them. And I'm talking about games with an ending. I'm not talking about Splatoon and Animal Crossing and all that
Splatoon
kind
has
of
a
stuff.
story.
Splatoon does have a story. Okay,
Yeah.
bad example.
But you keep playing it like beyond just like Animal
Yeah,
Crossing.
Yeah.
Like Animal Crossing credits roll really
I
early, weirdly. But
I'm not gonna buy a game, play it, and then never touch it again. I find that just so bizarre. Like I buy it with the intention of completing it, because to me, I feel like it I feel unaccomplished, or something is wrong if I didn't complete it. I do have that nagging feeling in my head if I don't complete something, uh, because I want to know the ending. I want to see where it's gonna go, and it just feels so good to complete a game. But yeah, I also have a list of games that I have yet to complete. But I think that's different. I think there's a difference from games that you started and you're delaying completing, and another side is I just buy a game just to play it and then experience it and never touch it again.
yeah. No, yeah, backlog I wouldn't consider like a backlog that you intend on like working through. I don't think it's the same thing. But like I will gladly play State of Decay 2 over and over and over again but I probably won't ever play on my own world. I'd rather just go help other people, just because I know that that's what I like about it. And I do play mostly multiplayer games. I'm trying to get more into single player games, but I like the social aspect of gaming, probably arguably more than gaming itself. Like if I'm by myself, it's I have to be like, oh, I can play a game right now, and then usually after 30 minutes, I'm like, has the world ended without me paying attention to it, type of thing, and I get like out inside my own head, and I'm like, I need to do something else, and so I rarely.
I'm like the total opposite of you.
I am
Like,
too.
give me a single player game and everybody go away while I'm playing it. That's kind of why I joined the podcast, actually, because like I dread social situations, so I'm kind of like trying to branch out, and that's why it's really weird for me to stream. Like I have trouble just talking to people in general, and like talking while I'm playing is like a totally different thing for me. Like I have a hard like I was just thinking, oh, what was it? It was your Game Boy video that you just put out.
Yeah.
I was thinking while I was watching, I'm like, Ty is absolutely amazing at talking to himself, and I can't do that.
I am really good at talking to myself, usually in my own head, but no, I'm just good. I'm glad that you're here, Toast.
I'm glad
That's
to be here.
yeah. That's
I'm
I
in
didn't
the
know that.
same I'm in
Really?
the same boat as Toast, where I'm not really social, and maybe that's why I prefer playing single player games, because I am the opposite, and you know, more not like social. Such I rather play by myself than play with other people, and that's why single player games appeal to me more, because I get to sit down and play by myself. And then when I started streaming, I also had the same problem. It's like, ugh, now I have to talk
Talk.
while I'm doing this and talk to people. I'd rather just be quiet, and that's why there are certain games to stream, and there's certain games
Sure.
you play by yourself. You know.
Heads up, don't. I mean, you can if you want to, but streaming Crypt of the Necrodancer is horribly hard because you have to be dead focused on exact patterns, and as soon if you look away from that screen and that audio for a split second, it'll throw you off and you will die. um that's why everyone, like Keezus has tried streaming it. I've tried streaming it. Russ, did you ever try streaming it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was horrible.
it's a bad experience. Which
Now I want to try it.
I did.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Like, man, I got to try it now.
It's like
As soon
it
as you
adds a
talk,
whole nother level. Yeah,
as soon as you talk, you lose it.
Yeah.
You completely lose the rhythm, and you can't.
That's why I stream normally.
but this is a roguelike that will punish you for it, and like especially if you get off the rhythm against like even just like one of the like one of the little mini boss dragons or something, it will destroy you 2 hits. Like if you slip up for a split second and then your run's done and you have to start all over. But it's still fun, but it definitely adds another whole level of difficulty if you're streaming it and trying to not just ignore everyone. I have to say. Max, what about you?
I think both, honestly. I think both is the right answer. Because obviously, every time I buy a single player game, my idea is to finish it. But then if you look at my backlog, that's clearly not going to happen. uh, but yeah, I think beating it should be the goal if it's a single player game. Of course, obviously, like we just talked about, all these multiplayer games that aren't beatable, that's where the experience comes in. So that's the short answer, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm so sorry. That was so short.
No.
Everyone said like all the good answers. I'm like, oh crap, what do I say
Yeah,
now?
Max. No, you definitely have both. Like you will like tackle Skyward Sword until you beat it, but also hop on with your friends and play multiplayer games. I think you're a very well-rounded gamer that can appreciate both sides of the coin for sure. Russ, what about you?
So I have a weird answer for this. When I first started buying games like more often than normal, I was really into like the Game Chasers, Pixel Game Squad, and stuff like that. So I would go out and just buy things just to buy them. And then like I'd go to GameStop every week and buy like 3 games, like the $5 or $10 cheap ones. I'd go to thrift stores and stuff like that. But since I've outgrown that, I've mostly just been buying games I want to play. But if you look at my backlog too, it's disgusting.
I feel you on that.
I think it's over 1,000 games at this point, and I've beaten 200 of them, but I go back and replay the same ones I've beaten. And if you look at the top of my backloggery, I have I think like 15 games because I have the issue of I start a game intending to play it and beat it, and then something shiny distracts me. I play that game, start it, and then I forget about the other one, and then it just keeps adding on until I have this huge list of games that I've started and not finished.
You know what the issue is? You got Red Dead Redemption popping up on the screen. So I'm going to bring up, this is going to be a hot take. The reason why it takes us forever and why we have so much of a massive backlog right now is because games are sometimes way too long. I mean,
yeah.
good example is the Persona games. I think I know Persona 5 took me over 100 hours to beat. And, games just keep releasing and they keep adding up. And that's the issue of why there's so many issues of people having backlogs like all of us here. We probably all have you said 1,000 games, and that's probably because most of the games I feel like now that come out are super long. They're at least 30 to 40 hours. And I think we need to get back to shorter games, maybe 15 to 20 hours. And
Yeah.
I feel like the issue would not be as bad.
Wait. No, you need those long games where you're just kind of immersed in and it takes forever to play. I like playing short games too, but yeah, like Zelda, if I get a Zelda game and it's like 15 hours, I'm going to feel so sad that I can't play this forever and ever.
I would be so stoked.
Yeah, you'd be happy.
I just to clarify, I bought Miles Morales day one for my PS5 and I have not beat it. It's only like a 5-hour game.
It's only 5 hours.
I think I've played like 3 hours of it. Well, I've played a lot of it, but I have been I like just swinging around and
Okay,
I like
fair.
experiencing it. I do want to beat it though, but I like going around and I do some of the little side quests and I beat up like the little like whatever the crime in place and stuff. I've been doing that and then just taking my time with it.
Wait, so how long is Web of Shadows?
I think that's like right at 10 hours, if I remember correctly.
That's not too bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I think Russ hit the nail on with the hammer when he said that you
On
get
the head.
distracted by
So I was waiting for that to fall apart.
too much going on. Yeah, when he said, you get distracted by shiny things and it's like every other week there's a new game coming out and then you're like, "Oh, I want to play this and I want to get that," and then you forget about what you started.
Yeah,
So I think
exactly.
that's the problem.
I'm picking up
That's
what's it called? WarioWare tomorrow. I think that's all I'm picking up tomorrow. There's a bunch coming out tomorrow, right?
that's not even touching on, like, for me at least, all of the games from past generations that I missed out on that I want to play on the NES and the SNES and all the things prior to me.
I missed so much in the 360 PS3 era that in like early PS4 Xbox One that I never got to touch. I'm like, ugh. Like BioShock and Borderlands and so all of Russ's favorite games I've never played.
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta.
Yeah.
All those. I missed out on all of that. So I definitely feel you on previous generations that, the classics that not even all the way back, because I played most of the old stuff, but it's that generation that I missed, and a little bit of like PS2, Xbox, GameCube era. I played most of those too, but I was working at video game stores, so that helped. Everyone's gone. Any closing comments? We have a lot of news to talk about that we'll get into, but I don't want to to jump in. Oh, I see a lot of Neander's in the chat. He threw something out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I don't know. Obviously, multiplayer games are easy to just experience, and that's what I focus on. I don't know. I'm trying to get into more single player games, and we'll see.
I'm sure once you play Spider-Man Web of Shadows, it's going to be like
That's it.
single player games for
I did.
life.
So yeah, I beat the Spider-Man remaster. That's the that's
Wait, how did you beat that
no,
but not Miles
because
Morales?
I played that first. That's why I haven't beat Miles Morales. I played through the whole story of Spider-Man remastered, and then I jumped straight into Miles Morales, and then I was a little burnt out, and I switched to other stuff, and so I actually haven't touched it in a long time. But one game I need to beat, and I'll keep saying it, is Breath of the Wild. I will play it here and there, and I need to beat it. That's one game that I am determined to beat. It's like and Miles Morales and God of War and whatever all the other PS4 games that I missed. Those
are a lot of hours.
I know.
I took a year break in between my completion of Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Yep. It's a long game.
Yeah. I'm not that far into it. So I have some time. Yeah. You guys want to move on to news? We're sitting good on time.
Yes, I'm excited to talk about this stuff.
There's a lot of stuff that happened this week, so we can move on to news. Let me trigger my little thing. Where is it? Here we go. Oh, didn't work. We'll do it this way. There we go. Okay. So I made a video about this, yesterday? I put it out yesterday? I made it over the weekend. Nintendo is reportedly set to bring out Game Boy and Game Boy Color games to the Nintendo Switch Online. A lot of... So it started... I made it... I'm just going to recap the video that I did, but Nate the Hate and Modern Vintage Gamer put there on Nate the Hate's podcast, was talking about back in 2019 there were 4 emulators that leaked through a data mine leak, and basically there's 2 unused emulators that are in the code. The other 2 are the NES and SNES, and then they're talking about how Game Boy Color and Game Boy are the next emulator that is going to get released, and then suddenly 4 different news outlets all had articles up right after, independently confirming through their own sources that this was happening, which is unusual. It was Eurogamer, Nintendo Life, and then a bunch of others. So, not to spoil my article, but the Game Boy didn't have a ton of first party hits that weren't either developed by third parties or in collaboration with third parties. So I'm curious how much content is going to be here. But does anyone have any opinions on Game Boy coming to the Switch Online service?
The only way this is exciting is if they actually put the Pokemon games on here, which is not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't unless they figure something out, because it seems like here, spoiler, my video, I basically predict that Nintendo doesn't want to give up ongoing revenues because it's a service, and what it seems that Microsoft does with Game Pass is they throw money at a publisher or developer and kind of buy the rights for a period of time, and then either however that happens. But Nintendo's, they don't come and go, and so it seems like they get some third parties by just buying out the rights to put it onto the Switch, but they don't have to pay ongoing. And I'm guessing that's why there's no big third party games on the service right now. That's why why Super Mario RPG is on the classic, because that's a one-time purchase and not on Nintendo Switch Online, even though they use the same emulator. I think that Square Enix probably wants a cut of revenues ongoing in perpetuity. That's, I think, is the problem. And so the fact that Nintendo doesn't wholly own Pokemon is going to be an issue on both sides.
And I think with Pokemon too, a lot of the fans are going to want compatibility with Pokemon Home.
Yeah,
they're going to want to be able to
mentioned
bring
that.
their Pokemon to other games, and I don't think that's going to be something that can be worked into the Nintendo Switch Online. It'd be cool if they did, but I don't think it'll happen.
It does that with the what does it work with? You mentioned
It works with pretty much any Pokemon game, even the Virtual Console ones.
Oh, Virtual Console. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, that's different. I was thinking. Yeah. Okay. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know how they. Yeah.
You can't access the eShop on the 3DS anymore, right?
You can.
You can.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think they're just cutting card service for it soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's the only way to play like red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, and crystal legally now, unless you own a physical version. So if they got rid of that, then I can see them maybe putting it on Switch Online, but I still doubt it.
Yeah, it depends if whatever these backdoor deals are with Game Freak, who owns half of Pokemon. I don't know. I just don't see Nintendo doing like giving all that up for a Game Boy. I don't know. Doesn't seem like a very Nintendo move. Same with what else? No light. Like my entire Game Boy library was all like the licensed games. I had like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man. I don't even know what else. But like Pac-Man. I don't know. None of those are going to be there, and it seems like that was the bulk of their library. It's like Kirby, Metroid 2, all the Super Mario Land games.
Was
Donkey Kong
game Wario Land on there?
Yeah. That was Super Mario Land 3 was Wario Land, then they made a Wario Land 2, I think, if I remember right.
Is there any Yoshi games on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's just that puzzle game, right? I don't think there's an actual platformer game.
Yeah, it's the puzzle one.
Yeah. It's just called Yoshi.
Yoshi Cookie, I thought.
Yeah. Yoshi Cookie, yeah. So I know Nofrendo, who's in the chat, he made a video suggesting that they might also release Game Boy Advance at the same time, which I think would boost that a lot, and I think that could be a way to do it. But Nintendo has a tendency to hold their cards really tight, and just they're not going over and above for the last year and a half, like they usually do, and so I would be surprised if they throw that out, at the same time. But maybe
they should put N64. I feel like everyone would be so hyped for that if they put N64 online capability, Mario Party in there. Everyone will forget about the Nintendo Switch Online being crap. Everyone will be praising it to its limits.
But
that's what we
but
then nobody will buy the new Mario Party.
Yeah, isn't that all that's only N64 Mario Party levels? And so
wait, you're right about that.
And so it wouldn't make sense for them to do that right when they're releasing a game with all the Mario Party.
Don't worry, they'll do it after.
Yeah.
And charge extra for it.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like a lot of people don't like the Nintendo Switch Online service, and I feel like once Game Boy gets added and Game Boy Color, if Game Boy Advance gets added, I feel like people will get excited for that. But I feel like there's not going to be much hype for Game Boy because everyone's going to be thinking Pokemon games, which we just discussed.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen, and a lot of people aren't going to realize that, and then people are just going to dislike it even more. It needs something like the N64, and I feel like everyone would be so hyped for an N64 because even without Mario Party, there's still so many games you could put on the N64 online. That would be incredible.
Yeah, and they already have the emulator from Super Mario All-Star or 3D All-Stars. There's that N64 emulator that ran Super Mario 64. But the N64 also suffers the same issue with a ton of third party, that some of their biggest things. Although I think doesn't Nintendo still owns the GoldenEye license. I'm pretty sure that's why they killed the 360 remake and stuff like
You're
that.
right. Yeah.
But I bet it's not entire. I bet they would still need, who is it? Who owns the movie rights?
MGM.
MGM.
Yeah.
I think they would still run into issues. They're in kind of a weird spot right now. So I don't know. Moving on. Actually, do you think yes or no? Do you think this is going to happen before the end of the year?
I think it's going to happen this month.
Yeah.
If we're talking about Game Boy and Game Boy Color,
Yeah.
I'm calling it now. Next week there's going to be a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah. They usually have one in September.
Yep.
Oh.
It's usually within the first 2 to 3 weeks of September. So
we'll see.
And that's where you're going to get the official announcement of all this, because every time Nintendo added an online new thing to their service, it was always in September. NES was in September, SNES was in September, Game Boy is going to be in September.
Yeah, and it's been
2 years.
Since the SNES. Yeah, we'll see. I'm intrigued if they can pull something off, and they have some sort of solution for working with some of their partners. That would be awesome, but I'm not holding my breath on that. So did you guys see all this chaos with the Horizon Forbidden West PS5 upgrade strategy when it first hit, and then they backtracked really hard? So initially, when all the pre-orders came out for Horizon Forbidden West, they basically said you either have to buy PS4 or PS5, and there's no no upgrade path unless you paid for the was it the $80 deluxe edition? There's like 9 or 10 different versions of this game, which is weird because the most expensive ones don't come with the physical game, which is also really strange. Like the ones that are like over $200.
It made me mad.
Doesn't come with the game, which is an issue in and all like of itself. But the other annoying thing is like some people cannot get a PS5 right now, and will probably still be the same case in March. And if you buy the PS4 game, the base game, or like even one of the bottom 2 levels, you cannot upgrade it to the PS5 version. Anyway, there was a huge backlash, and Sony ended up saying that if you buy any version of the PS4 game, you will get a free upgrade to the PS5. But they also said, never again. We're not doing it ever again. We'll do it for this one, and it'll always be at least $10 moving forward. Which,
you know what this reminds me of? Remember when Xbox did their whole thing where everything was going to be increasing, and then like 24 hours they changed it quick?
Everything, yeah.
This is like the PlayStation version of that. They changed it real fast.
Yeah.
If only they change it to put a disc in the steelbook that they include in the collector's edition.
You get a steelbook but no disc for it.
That's stupid.
It's weird. So I just want to touch on that because I thought Sony's doing some funky stuff right now, and this is just kind of all in line with it. And the fact that they in their like announcement of this, they use that term dual entitlement, which I hate that term. That's like an EA term, and that they've latched onto, and so, but yeah, it would suck if you have a PS4, you want to buy the game, and then you want to get a PS5 later, you're stuck without the PS5 version, even though you bought the game. But it seems like they're making good on it a little bit, at least. Even though
Nintendo kind of did it with Breath of the Wild. Not that there's any way to stick a Wii U disc in a Switch, but at least they made it. I think it was $50 new versus $60. So they did
really.
It was $10 cheaper, I think, to get the Wii U version.
Oh yeah. And so, like, yeah, Nintendo's notorious for doing this type of weirdness. But I understand the fact that they're charging $10 more for the PS5 version, and so they have to like I'm okay. I'm okay with a $10 upcharge for the new version if there's upgrades to it, like significant upgrades that justify that cost. But the not cutting off the ability to upgrade was a weird choice. But so I'm glad they reversed that.
Why can't Nintendo fans be like this with boycotting? Like, why why is
Nintendo's
there always success in PlayStation and Xbox, but when it comes to Nintendo games, everyone's like, I hate you, Nintendo. Buys the game
yeah,
anyways.
throws
Like,
the
they're
money
I
at
hate
them.
Nintendo fans.
They're selling really old Mario games for $60 and limiting the amount of time that you can get them.
Yeah.
Yay, anniversary!
Yep. And yeah,
Nintendo
people
fans,
mad
gotta love
that
them.
they're not doing the same thing for Zelda. Like actually, like they only get mad when they can't give more money to Nintendo. That's the only time Nintendo fans get angry.
Zelda fans, be happy. You guys got a Game and Watch.
Yeah. I haven't opened my Mario Game and Watch, but I pre-ordered the Zelda one.
Same. I bought both. I'm not opening them either.
I kind of just want one because you can use that as a clock, right? I just
Yeah.
want to put it on my desk.
Yeah. We're
I was
a weird
initially gonna
species.
open mine, but then when I saw it, I was like, I can't open this. This feels evil that I'm opening this.
Last thing on the docket is the PlayStation Showcase was today. It was a solid. I feel like they did a pretty good job. Can't complain about this one. Some highlights were the Alan Wake remake, the Knights of the Old Republic remake, which looks to be PlayStation exclusive, at least maybe a timed exclusive. There was Lucasfilm and a PlayStation, and who was, I forgot the developer of that game, but they were all on the end screens, which makes me think that there's some exclusivity to that. Insomniac is destroying the world right now with Wolverine and Spider-Man 2. We got the Tiny Tina Borderlands game, which we knew about, but we got some gameplay. Gran Turismo 7 got a bunch of information on it, which I know none of you seem to be interested in. God of War Ragnarok showed some gameplay. Grand Theft Auto 5 got delayed, which is just like what?
Did I get delayed?
What is this, 2011?
It's not done yet.
What is Rockstar been doing the last 7 years? Like, it's not like did they not realize that these new consoles were coming out 2 years ago? The Uncharted remaster is coming to PS5 and PC. How many remasters of Uncharted do we have at this point? Is this
Just two.
Okay, I don't follow all of that. I've only
The other one is a remaster of the original 3 on PS3. This one is the 2 games that released on PS4.
Okay. I got those mixed up. Forspoken, and then Project Eve and Chia. And so, yeah, Wolverine from.
That was so unexpected.
Yeah, that was kind of out of nowhere.
Can I just say, before we get into that, the way that they were hyping up all these Marvel games was funny, because the first Marvel game they show was Guardians of the Galaxy, which was already announced. And then they did this, and they showed the Insomniac logo, but they did the red logo, which made it look like it was going to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then they showed Wolverine, and everyone was like, I guess Spider-Man's not happening yet. Boom, later at the presentation, Spider-Man. The way they planned that whole thing out was really smart.
It's very strategic.
And yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this Wolverine game. Wolverine's always been my jam. Insomniac, I'm like really enjoying their games. I feel like I posted in the Discord, I was like, Insomniac is greater than all of the other PlayStation studios combined at this point. I feel like they're just knocking it
They've
out of the park.
released 5 PS5 games if we count Wolverine and Spider-Man 2. They did
yeah.
Spider-Man Remastered, Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank. Now we got Wolverine.
Although
now we got Spider-Man 3 or Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 is not coming out till 2023, which feels like I'm gonna be a grandfather at that point.
Gonna be 20 picking up the new Spider-Man.
We won't talk about how old I'm gonna be, but it looks like there's gonna be like co-op maybe, which I'm like,
Oh no, there's no co-op. They just
No?
confirmed that on the Marvel
Aw,
article.
come on.
It's gonna be full on single player where you switch between Miles and Peter.
Rip my heart out.
I just ruined your dreams.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
I was so excited. I was like, you can't show that trailer and be like, oh, never. There's not co-op. Like it's like literally two Spider-Men slamming a bad guy into the ground, like right
It was a
here.
prank.
That's
gonna
not,
be
that's
like-
not co-op. Come on. Okay. That's
Have you
dumb.
seen how Batman Arkham Knight, how they made it look like they were gonna have co-op, but you have like two people helping you out frequently? It's gonna be like Batman Arkham.
God of War Ragnarok get some gameplay. It looks. I thought they were gonna make it more Nordic looking, but it just looks like God of War in the snow, kind of, from my perspective. But I have that on the original God of War on my short list of games I want to play more of. Getting back to the games I want to finish, I actually want to play more of that game. Then GTA 5 was delayed weirdly. Uncharted Remaster, Gran Turismo 7 coming out in March. Project Eve, Russ, you everyone like started tagging you in Project Eve, like this is Russ's game.
I am so mad that I was in a meeting during that.
Yeah, you were like, I could tell where at different points where you were in the broadcast, slightly like you were like 20 minutes behind us as we were watching.
That game looks. I hope it's dubbed first of all.
And it
because
does look just like Bayonetta.
It's
you could
like
call it
Bayonetta here.
Bayonetta because it's PlayStation's version of Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Bayonetta.
Yeah,
Okay, no one's laughing. All right.
but that's going to be a day one pickup for me. That game looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this because I like the look of it. I don't know. We'll see.
Look, she even has long hair.
PlayStation's Bayonetta, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I didn't really get into this Chia game, but it looks like you turn into different animals. It looks like a fun little adventure game. So, did I miss anything?
I have beef I want to bring up.
Yeah, good.
So in another Discord I'm in, everybody knows I like Borderlands. So they tagged me in the pre-order for their special edition, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
And I am so mad. I would have bought that in a heartbeat, but it's $100 and there's no game in it.
Yeah.
Why would you sell all of this stuff that should be with a game and I have to buy the $90 game separately?
That
it would be $200 for me to buy the game on PS5 plus the trinkets.
I would have paid $260 for Horizon Zero Dawn, but there's no disc in there. I don't want a code.
Yeah.
Why do you put a steelbook in there, not a disc?
I would have been okay with a code.
Yeah,
I still would have bought it. But this one does not have the game
at
There's
all.
Nothing in it.
You can't. If you buy that, you don't get to play the game at all.
Is this the new era?
Why even have it up for pre-order? Just sell this as like a bundle later on.
Yeah, no code.
Is this the new era of games where you're just gonna not get a code?
I'm telling you,
it's
gonna get worse because it's happened with every other industry where the add-ons are the more valuable part than the game itself. That's why, like the music industry kind of screwed it all up, but they were on the right path where they were doing to sell more. And streaming screwed it up too, but selling the bonus packages and everything. But now they've shifted that to like, if you go see a concert, there's like tiers, and then you get like a signed poster and you meet and greets and stuff like that. They're doing all it, but just slightly differently. But the, all the add-on stuff, limited edition, limited run is part of this. Pushing, scarcity and over like add-ons to the game that's where their profit lies right there, and so they're gonna push them harder and harder and harder.
Limited Run had a go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say Limited Run had a Castlevania special edition with 4 different collector's editions, and the biggest collector's edition came with 6 different boxes. That was the gimmick.
Yeah, like I don't know. I have a problem with I like add-ons and stuff if it's like valuable, but I feel like the companies are shifting. Like first it was like all the microtransactions, everything, and then people caught on. They're like, hey, this is not cool that you're trying to, because it's pure profit. And so now they're moving on to, oh, there's this whole collector vibe that's just blowing up right now. Let's latch onto that and do weird crap like a $200 bundle of the game that doesn't include the game. Like, so I don't know. I feel like it's going to get worse before there will have to be backlash before it starts getting less psychotic for this type of stuff.
I wonder if it's kind of tied into like the digital only consoles now. Like they don't want to push the game out with the extra stuff because you can buy the game digitally like at midnight that night. So maybe they're thinking that they're trying to push buying digital so then you don't have to have the game.
Yeah.
And that's why they're trying to sell these.
Yeah. But I feel like at least it just feels so disjointed. Like there's a disconnect.
They could give you a download code at least.
No.
Yeah, but if they're
or have conversions.
Yeah, or like somehow deliver the code. Like if they want to do, like deliver the code the day before. If you buy this, like something like the technology exists. There's just it's bureaucracy that's like that is hampering this. Like Sonic Colors, yeah, they did like you got it 4 days early if you did something special type of stuff. Like why not do that? If you buy this, then you get the game a day early through digital download. You don't no code required. It just gets, I don't know.
The weird thing too is that like people like loot boxes and like those little crates where you can buy like PlayStation themed merch or Game Boy themed merch at like Walmart and Target and stuff. Those are a thing. And even Horizon Zero Dawn did a big Thunderjaw statue that came with a map and a bunch of trinkets, but they didn't coincide it with the release of the game. Like they didn't put it up there like it was supposed to be the collector's edition and say, by the way, there's no game in this. They released it a few months after when the game had already like gained some traction. That's what they should have done with this Borderlands thing. Instead of, if they wanted to push a loot box, but don't put it next to pre-order for the game, because then everybody's like, dude, put them together.
I missed so much of the chat. I saw Keys talking about me, and I need to go back and watch this, but I missed it. Sorry, Keys and anyone else who's talking about me.
I was gonna say I don't know how frequent this has been. I know it's more of a thing that's recently starting to happen a lot more. I remember the days that EA actually attempted to do this back in 2016 with all their games that came out that year. They did a collector's edition, but didn't have any steelbook, no game download at all. It was a statue, basically what we're just talking about right now, everything that was included. And it was very expensive. I remember a lot of people very upset about that, and it looks like that's the era that we are entering now. Hopefully there's boycotts enough for it to not be the era, because
it's gonna have to be like boycott with your wallet. I don't think there's gonna be a big social push.
Only Nintendo fans know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, like if enough people don't buy it, it'll make its way around. But the thing is, people are gonna buy it because it's collectible.
Yes, that's the part that frustrates me. It's because I'm like, I don't
feeding on that frenzy right now.
Like, I want the Horizon Zero Dawn statue because I have the other one. I bought the other one, and now I'm like, well, now I want the set. But now I'm like, am I gonna be angry enough to like object with my wallet? Which yes, don't have the money for it anyways right now.
I mean, yeah, it even touches on like Nintendo doing the amiibo shortage and stuff. Although it seems like there was all that panic with the Loftwing amiibo, and then it seems like you can get them pretty regularly now. So
I hope the Metroid ones follow suit.
I know. Yes. I want that one, and I missed out on all the pre-orders of that. Although I haven't even pre-ordered the game.
Did anybody get it? Here,
I got the pre-order for it.
Oh, you got the pre-order for it?
Lucky.
I was the only able to get the special edition. I almost got the Amiibo pre-orders at inside of a GameStop where they were going to ship it to me, but as I'm entering my credit card information through their system, like inside the store, they sold out. I was so upset. I was like 5 seconds away from getting a pre-order.
I almost got a pre-order, but my credit card expires this month, and Walmart or wherever I was at wouldn't let me buy it because the credit card expires when it released, after it released, so or before it released rather. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed out on both of them. It's weird too because there's this. Jeremy pointed it out to me the other day, but even collector's editions, stores used to get them, and now, especially with Nintendo, there's no copies. Like, there's no spares at stores. It's pre-order or you don't get it.
Yeah, because it's so expensive. Like we're gonna see more and more of this. It's like, think about how much it costs to ship a box across the country, and multiply that by like 10,000. Like how much it costs for Nintendo to put these out into retailers when they have the direct to consumer platform already, and they can sell it as many as they want essentially. And so they are saving like hundreds of thousands of dollars not shipping them out to retailers, and just being like either do it online only, like type of thing, so they can just go straight from factory or distro center or something like that, instead of like an extra shipping point. I think we're gonna see it more and more happen, where especially with limited edition things or larger things. I don't know.
I just kind of wish they would go. I wish more game companies would go the limited run route of saying, hey, the pre-order window is 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to pre-order, and that's how many like copies essentially we're gonna print. Because then they're guaranteed every copy is basically sold, and then if there's any leftovers, people can of course be on a wait list. But that way, just it's more accessible. I know like Nintendo's big thing is scarcity, and they push rarity, and they've done it with like basically everything. So they're probably not going to, because it keeps that like hype and momentum. But
Yeah.
it's just a nice thought.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's no transparency in the industry, is another big issue, and so we don't know like what's gonna be low print run, high print run, when things are gonna get discontinued, how many they're making, anything like that. And so that's just a whole other. Maybe this is another topic that we can dive in on. Seems like we triggered something. I don't think I got any notes. So let's see. Do I have anything else for tonight? Do you guys have any closing comments before we wrap it up? We're gonna wrap it up in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Anyone? Bueller?
I got funny stories to talk about. We want to talk about.
Tell me one story. Make it quick.
Okay, so when I was moving out, these people came with the wrong truck, which caused multiple times for us to go back to the other house, which was an over an hour drive. And the owner was like, "You're paying for multiple trips." And my mom was like, "No, we're only paying for one trip because that's what we talked about." And long story short, things got way worse and the cops had to be involved. So we had to call the cops. And so apparently, I wasn't outside, so I don't know what actually happened, but my mom was saying when she was outside talking to the employees there, they were like apparently going up to her face, threatening her to pay the money for 2 trips. But my mom was like, "We're only paying for one trip." And one of the employees apparently got up to her face, was yelling at her, putting her fingers, like all that. And I didn't know about this. I go outside and there's like 50 cops outside. I'm like, what in the world has happened in the last 5 minutes? I'm just unpacking. I come out, cops are everywhere. And that's the short version of the story. There is like a lot of things that happened. Like the store owner accused my mom of being racist because she didn't want to pay for 2 trips because they agreed that it would only be one trip, but the person came with the wrong truck, and it was a very interesting day.
Max, your new room looks beautiful and glorious, and I can see your Smash Brothers poster behind your head when you move. Never mind, I
You
can't.
try to see it more
No,
now.
I can't.
Oh, wait, no, you can't. The light.
The light.
What's
Never
in the
mind.
middle?
So what's in the middle is a Pokemon Stadium Blockbuster exclusive poster that had all the stickers on it that they gave out for promotional of the game.
That's neat. I thought it was Pokemon Stadium, but I couldn't quite see.
Yeah. I'll
I
have
wanna
more
point
stuff
out-
hung out soon.
I want to point out that those Funko Pops on that top shelf are like a perfect fit.
Yeah, they look great.
Yes, you can't tell, but they're actually signed Funko Pops.
Oh, nice.
I got a Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund signed pop. I got a Shazam pop that's signed by Zachary Levi. Shaggy pop that's signed. Bunch of signed pops right over there.
That's awesome, dude. For locos. All right, be sure to follow everyone on the podcast if you're in the live stream. The links are right there. If you're watching or listening afterwards, the links are in the description. Thank you guys for being here. Have a good Thursday night, the rest of it. And we'll be back next week for another episode. I don't have the topic picked for next week, so it'll be a surprise for all of us.
It could be Spider-Man Web of
I have
Shadows.
the rest.
Put the topic there.
I have the rest of the year pretty much planned, but for some reason I have a hold next week, so we'll figure that out. And I will update on my social media platforms. You guys have a good night. Thank you again, as always, for being here, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Adios.